In this video, I'm going to answer the most common question that I get, both online and in real life. That question is, what traps do I use? But I'm going to challenge you after answering that question by telling you the question that I think you ought to be asking. If that sounds of interest to you, stick around and hear what I have to say. It was an alfalfa field. It's been an alfalfa for a long time, and they recently made the decision to rotate it out of alfalfa, and they planted it to wheat, which actually makes it really convenient for me because this wheat is a lot smaller than the alfalfa typically is, so it makes it really easy to see what's going on, see where the most recent activity is. So I can kind of buzz along pretty quick and get a lot of traps out in a short amount of time. So like I mentioned earlier, my goal is to hit 300 this week, and I think that's a very doable goal. I try to get somewhere around 100 traps out each day. So I think 300 is a very realistic number for this week, and like I said, if not, we'll get darn close. So one of the main questions that I get asked is, what traps do you use? Well, this is it. We call it the world's best gopher trap, and I'll leave a link to it in the description and in the pinned comments. And that's a good question, and it's a very logical and reasonable first question. But what I want to challenge you with is, I think there's a better question that you should be asking, and that question is, how are you using the traps? You could take and put me into the fastest, top fuel drag car there is out there, and with me behind the wheel, it would no longer be the fastest car out there. Why? Because I don't know how to use the car to reach its full potential. Apply the same logic to the traps. Just because you go out and buy the most expensive or the most promoted or the very best traps on the market does not guarantee you success as a gopher trapper. You can't buy these traps and go out and catch 300 gophers in a week like I can, because I have years of experience. So what do we do about that? Well, the good news for you guys is that I have put together an hour-long instructional video series to teach you the basics of how I trap and how to use these traps and to use all of these tools that I have. I will leave a link to the video series also in the description and in the pinned comments. So while it's important to have good traps, it's more important to know how to use the traps well. And it's okay to not know things. All of us don't know things until we do know them. So, before going out and just buying traps, let's learn about gopher behavior. Let's learn how to properly use traps. And in those instructional videos, I cover the full gamut. I structured them to talk to someone like I'm talking to someone that has never successfully trapped a gopher in their life. And so I teach you how to identify where the most recent activity is. I teach you how to locate the tunnels. I teach you how to decipher what those tunnels are doing and how that affects where you need to place the traps. Teach you how to mark the traps and stake the traps properly. And all these little nuances that took me years and years to learn, I've condensed down into a 1 hour video that you guys can learn. Could you absolutely learn these things on your own? Yeah, you can. But it's going to take you a whole lot longer to learn them on your own. And what do they say? Time is money. So if you value your time at all, buying the videos is going to save you the time and shorten that learning curve to a point where you can be successful very quickly. I've trapped a lot of different soil types in a lot of different geographical locations, but by far sand is my favorite to trap because it's just so easy to work with. The digging is easy. The tunnels are super easy to locate. Found that tunnel easily. Just place the trap, stake it, cover the hole back up, and we're on to the next one. Well, I ended up getting 109 traps set. Apparently that was all the stakes that I had with me today. Feel pretty good about how things went. There was plenty of new activity. I feel really good about the sets. We'll let those traps soak overnight tonight. Be back here first thing tomorrow to check them. Each day this week is going to be its own video. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and after you do that, turn on notifications so you can keep up with how this week goes. They'll all be organized into a playlist, and you can go check out our other playlist from jobs in the past as well. We'll see you tomorrow.